All right, everyone. Welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Tuesday, June 26, 2018. All right, so today we have the moon in deep Ophiuchus, which was the deep energy from yesterday as well. But today, maybe doing some healing, becoming aware of the deeper dimensions of life and of ourself so that we can accept them. And it is through that acceptance that we heal and transform. We do have a full moon tomorrow and Thursday, so this part of the sky is about this transformation, which then will lead to a little bit more of that inspiration with the full moon in Sagittarius. So today, Mars is going retrograde for the next 2 months. Good time to be re-examining what we want, our desires. You could even say our deep needs. So maybe a pause with this and now a sort of reflection for the next 2 months. A little bit of Saturn energy today. We have the sun opposite Saturn, so maybe a little bit of working with our limitations going into tomorrow. So let's look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here's the sky for this Tuesday. Again, we are using the actual size of the constellations. So if you don't know what Sidereal is, check out that link down below because we are using different signs. For example, today Ophiuchus is a very different constellation that is not used in mainstream astrology. All right, so Ophiuchus, the serpent bear, the moon will be passing through this constellation here today. So a great day for essentially healing. Ophiuchus is all about becoming aware of all aspects of the human experience, but particularly the deeper ones, particularly the ones that we normally hide away from or shy away from or brush under the rug. So with this type of energy, it is the time to lift up the rug, to become aware of these deeper things that maybe we've avoided, maybe based from fear, inhibition, wounds, traumas, these deep things that through this energy, we become aware of and essentially accept. And it is through that acceptance that we do heal, we transform, and really liberate ourselves. So very spiritual time with this. Very good time for healing, psychology, deep diving, also great for research, and of course anything else in that sort of deeper dimension. We could just be feeling this way, but likely noticing a theme in regards to this energy here today. All right, so this is in the context of the fact that we are going to have a full moon in Sagittarius. Wednesday and Thursday, we're on the cusp between those 2 days. So the moon will be passing over the galactic center going into tomorrow. And so this is the part of the sky that has to do with the transformation. Essentially, it's this deeper work that we do before we get into the more inspiring energies of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is essentially like the phoenix that's already risen out of the ashes. So we're still in that sort of metamorphosis right now, but approaching the full moon, this transformation that then leads to a bit more of this free spirit, open-mindedness, and the ability to see the big picture of things from that top-down perspective. All right, so I will talk more about the full moon, of course, tomorrow. I will make the full moon video. But let's do a quick recap. We do have the sun in Gemini, so great time to be focused on the more practical things right now. Maybe bringing in a bit of flexibility and adaptability in our life. That's essentially our source of energy at this time. Mercury, well set in Cancer now. What we're thinking about or how we're thinking is likely a little bit more on the reflective energies, maybe about the past, maybe about our inner intrinsic values, our emotional values, emotional needs, this type of thing. And with that, Venus is actually leaving Cancer going into Leo. So we could notice our values shifting this part of the week, going a little bit more towards maybe wanting to have some fun, maybe a little more of this playful energy, creative energy, maybe in relationships, or we're just enjoying it a little bit more. Very good for that type of inner passion when we're connecting to life and our relationships in that way with Venus in Leo. All right, so today we do have Mars retrograde. So for the next 2 months until the end of, end of August, Mars will be retrograde through Capricorn. So Great time now for the next 2 months to be re-examining what are our needs. What do we want? Especially things that we've maybe been recently becoming more aware of our immediate needs and wants. Now a time of reflecting on this. All right, so this can be very deep. Mars does naturally rule Scorpio and Ophiuchus traditionally. So this could also be essentially our deep needs. Re-examining those, right? Diving deep with the self, diving deep with what are our deep desires and reflecting on this, right? Even who we are and what's our identity is also Mars related. So all things pertaining to us, what we want, you could say how we present ourselves, our image, but how we see ourselves, all going through this reflection for the next couple months. All right, so today it's just starting. Mars is essentially stationed, which means he's paused in the sky. So the energy relating to our drives, our needs, our motivations are slowing down for what will be the reflection moving forward. Okay, and we'll probably notice a little bit more of that deeper reflection as we go into the later part of the week as Mars builds his momentum. All right, so that's the most important thing going on today. But as we get into the full moon energy of tomorrow, the sun will be opposing up to Saturn. So we may feel in the later parts maybe a bit of kind of doing this status check with the things we've been building in our life. What are our foundations? Kind of becoming more aware of this, especially if over the past 6 months you've recently taken some things seriously, built some things in your life. Great time to do a status check with this and really just working within our limitations, right? Bringing in a bit of this patient energy, consciously, constructively, a bit of self-discipline, especially with Mars retrograde in Capricorn. A lot of what we're going to be reflecting on here is what can we do, what work can we do that does require patience and does require self-discipline. So a lot of this working within our limitations energy, certainly getting activated with this, and I'll talk more about it with the full moon because of course it will be activating the full moon there. All right, so that's the general energy of the day. Most important thing, Mars retrograde, a pause with our needs, a pause with who we are, what we want for the reflection of this for the next roughly 2 months. And in the context of the fact that today, great day for doing some deep diving. Essentially, nothing to really do with Ophiuchus as much as it's about acceptance. It's a more receptive energy. It's more about becoming aware of and accepting these deeper dimensions. And through that, the transformation sort of naturally happens, which will be leading to, again, a more inspired, open-minded energy of the full moon in Sagittarius. All right, one thing I did forget to mention, if you do want to see where Mars is going retrograde in your personal chart, for your personal sidereal sign, do check the comment section down below. I will put the house that Mars is retrograde in for you. You can watch that, or you can look at that for your sun sign, but also your moon sign and your ascendant. So I will put the sidereal chart calculator down below so you can find those out as well. And those three should give you a pretty good dynamic of what is getting reflected on now with this Mars retrograde. All right, so have a fantastic day, everyone. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow for the full moon forecast. Take care.